hi guys, I just thought I'd do a quick video to show you exactly how you go about drawing your bugs. There's no point doing two halves, so grab a piece of paper, fold that paper in half directly down the middle. Now you might have done drawing with Symmetry last year when you did your love spoons for the Eisteddfod. So basic premise is we only draw on one side. So we're going to be drawing a bug. So bugs are split up into three different parts. We've got the head, we've got the abdomen, and then we've got the body. Now you're only drawing up to the half line. And remember that you do need to press quite hard for your lines to transfer onto the other piece of paper. So we've got our head, the middle part of the body, and the bottom part. Now with the legs, you always have one leg that comes out of the front of the bug, and this is pointing forward. Now even the bug's legs are split up into sections, so you draw each of those sections like so, and you can make these as detailed as you want. So next we can go for our second leg, which actually points backwards, so it's exactly the same as the front leg, but this time we're pointing backwards. So split into sections. You can split these into as many or as detailed sections as you like, and just coming out and adding in whatever detail. A lot of bugs have got like hooks on the ends of their feet, so you might want to add in some of those. Then we're going to go to the back leg next. So the back leg is exactly the same as the front leg, it's just a little bit bigger and it's a bit more of a weird angle for this one. So again, splitting our leg into sections, and you might want to grab a bigger piece of paper than what I've got here. Right, so then I'm going to add in an antennae, and these again, you can make these as detailed as you like. You might have spiky ones, and I'm also going to make like a pincer, which a lot of like big beetly bugs have got. Now if you've done any research, bugs are also one of the most important pollinators that there are, so that's why we're studying them at the moment. So right, once you've then drawn one side, so just the one side you need to draw, that is where you then fold your paper over, and making sure you're drawing on the back side of the side that you've drawn on, and then you're just going to scribble. Can anyone remember this from the love spoons? So scribble over the back, and all of that pencil will transfer over onto this side, and then your job then is just to go around those shapes and fill those in. Now once you've then filled in all your shapes, that is when you go in with shading. So any lines, any lines where you feel like you can't see it very well, just turn it back over and scribble over it again, and that'll do the trick. So drawing over all of those lines, all of those shapes, and I'm just going to skip ahead. So once you've then drawn over all of those shapes, remember, if you've got a detail, this is like a nice trick way of getting a really nice detail in there, but not actually having to draw a huge amount or come up with the designs yourself. So once you've then drawn over the other side, that is when you're going to go in with detail. Now one of our bugs is going to be a mechanical bug, but first of all I want you to just try and use your knowledge of shading to really make this bug look super 3D, like so. So darker on the edges and fading out. Darker on the edges, and this just helps it look really, really round. You might want to blend with your finger a little bit. So darker on the edge. Now with this claw, I'm actually going to make these bits, because these bits are quite sharp on a lot of bugs. I don't know if anyone's ever been bitten by a bug, but they can be quite sharp. So I'm going to add a little bit more black onto those ones. And then when it comes to down by your bug body, you might want to start creating shapes within these. So I'm going to shade up to that line, and it's going to be really dark by that line there. I'm going to fade it out. And your bug might have quite a lot of different details on it. So if you follow me on Pinterest, I've got loads of different bugs on there. Or if you're using one from the presentation, that's also fine as well. Just make sure you've got lots of lovely tones in there that are all blended out quite nicely. Now it's up to you. Obviously, in my PowerPoint I've included a half coloured bug, so you can add in some colour if you want to, or if you have access to colour. You might want to blend stuff out with your finger a little bit, just to get those tones in there. And say a lot of bugs, they've got like patterns on the shell. So obviously these are wings, so I'm just going to add in wings onto there. I probably could have added those in first of all, but I just decided to add them, and that's fine. So on these wings now I'm going to add in some patterns. Now I'm going to come up these bugs' wings just with some lines to start off with, and then in between those lines I'm going to add in a couple of dots. Obviously this depends on the bug that you're looking at. You might have a ladybug which is just lots of dots, but really study those bugs and get in all of those little details. And obviously then going back in with any shading. Obviously if you've added in lines, you might not want to go too dark with the shading, but it is good to get some tonal work on there. And then obviously this bit is underneath the wings, so this bit's going to be darker, so I'm going to press quite hard for that bit. And this can take you a little while, but we've got all the time in the world at the moment, so that doesn't matter. Just keep going round, adding in those tones, rounding off these objects. And if you're happy, you don't need to watch the rest of this video. I'm just going to finish this bug off. And sorry about the delay with this coming out. As you can see, this is the technology that I'm using, so I've just been waiting for a license key. So yeah, just keep on shading it all in. So I want one bug with shading and one mechanical bug. Now mechanical bugs, you can do them in Biro if you want. In fact, I'm going to show you a bit of Biro. So like we did with the noses, Biro is exactly the same thing, but for those dark tones, rather than pressing hard, what you do is you layer the pen over and over to get those really dark tones. So if there's dark tones, you just layer that pen and tipping your pen quite far to the side then to get those light tones. It's just the pen scuffing the surface allows you to create really nice different tones with that pen. And if you find you can see a lot of the pen lines, that's fine, because mark making is a really nice way of drawing, and there's lots of artists who use mark making and actually draw completely in mark making. So if you want to, you can use those to your advantage. You can make these as arty as you want. Again, I'm going to go for that sharp pincer in there, so I'm just going to make that bit along the edge of that blade a little bit darker. So darkest by layering, and then just adding in some pen just to soften up those edges. As you can see, I know it's a little bit blurry, but we've got pencil, pen. And I'll keep working on this, and I'll upload the finished product. So if you get on to adding in your cogs, I'm just going to turn this over onto the back here to show you how to draw the cogs. So cogs, what you want to do is draw a circle first, then you come around the circle and you just draw in dashes around the top of the circle as equal distances apart as you can, and you just curve that around then. and curve and join those cogs together. If you wanted to be more exact, you could draw these and measure everything. If you've got a compass, that would also be really good. So mark, mark. Well, that's a better idea actually. Mark all the way around like that, and then curve to join up those cogs then, those teeth of those cogs. Like that there. You might want to have cogs that sort of mesh into each other, or maybe some screws, adding in some screws into the centre of those cogs.